Welcome to another meditation. I am Gavin Edwards from Samadhana Yoga. You can begin by closing your eyes, finding whatever comfortable asana or seat is best for you. Focus on your breath. Bring your awareness to your breath. Make sure that your lower back is curved slightly. I'm going to read you the last few passages from Ramana Maharshi's book, Who Am I? And I think these are the most potent questions. So I invite you to continue the meditation with your eyes closed. I invite you to drop your shoulder blades, poke your chest out slightly, and bring your chin closer to the chest, straightening your neck. Scan your body briefly for any tension, and once you find any tension that may be there, focus on it and allow it to release. Question 24. What is happiness? Answer. Happiness is the very nature of the self. Happiness and the self are not different. There is no happiness in any object of the world. We imagine through our ignorance that we derive happiness from objects. When the mind goes out, it experiences misery. In truth, when its desires are fulfilled, it returns to its own place and enjoys the happiness that is the self. Similarly, in the states of sleep, samadhi, and fainting, and when the object desired is obtained, or the object disliked is removed, the mind becomes inward turned and enjoys pure self-happiness. Thus, the mind moves without rest, alternately going out of the self and returning to it. Under the tree, the shade is pleasant. Out in the open, the heat is scorching. A person who has been going about in the sun feels cool when he reaches the shade. Someone who keeps on going from the shade into the sun and then back into the shade is a fool. A wise man stays permanently in the shade. Similarly, the mind of the one who knows the truth does not leave Brahman. The mind of the ignorant, on the contrary, revolves in the world, feeling miserable, and for a little time returns to Brahman to experience happiness. In fact, what is called the world is only thought. When the world disappears, i.e., when there is no thought, the mind experiences happiness. And when the world appears, it goes through misery. Question 25. What is wisdom insight? known in Sanskrit as Jnana Drishti? Answer. Remaining quiet is what is called wisdom insight. To remain quiet is to resolve the mind in the self. Telepathy, knowing past, present, and future happenings, and clairvoyance do not constitute wisdom insight. That one's for all the black magicians out there. Question 26. What is the relation between desirelessness and wisdom? Desirelessness is wisdom. The two are not different. They are the same. Desirelessness is refraining from turning the mind towards any object. Wisdom means the appearance of no object. In other words, not seeking what is other than the self is detachment or desirelessness. Not leaving the self is wisdom. This is why I say spirituality can't be combined with pickup. How are you going to achieve wisdom when you're constantly looking for somebody else? I'll let you answer that question for me. I repeat, wisdom means the appearance of no object. In other words, not seeking what is other than the self is detachment or desirelessness. Not leaving the self is wisdom. Question 26. What is the difference between inquiry and meditation? Inquiry consists in retaining the mind in the self. Meditation consists in thinking that one's self is Brahman, existence, consciousness, bliss. So Brahman, in English, Brahman is what we come from. Brahman is what you are. Brahman is where we all come from, essentially. Question 28. What is liberation? Inquiring into the nature of one's self that is in bondage and realizing one's true nature is liberation. So I want you to contemplate on those questions and answers. And in my experience, the best spiritual teachers I've found aren't concerned with finding you a girlfriend. The best spiritual teachers I've found know what Ramana Maharshi is saying here. They know the relation between desirelessness and wisdom. Because as Ramana Maharshi says, desirelessness is wisdom. The two are not different. When you desire everything because you watch porn all day, you're a fool. You're not focusing on what matters in life. You're focused outside of yourself because you're running away from yourself. This is why most people seek relationships. They don't want to deal with themselves. Desirelessness is refraining from turning the mind towards any object. Your desires will make you suffer. Wisdom means the appearance of no object. In other words, not seeking what is other than the self. This is the practice that I have been practicing. Not because I'm an incel, not because I'm bad with women, not because I'm not attractive, but because I want wisdom. You see how much gray hair I have? That's an outward, a material manifestation of what is in my brain. Not seeking what is other than the self is detachment. Not leaving the self is wisdom. So the next time you have a spiritual teacher who's also trying to sell you dating products and whatever else, you can be sure that their spiritual practice is not as potent as it should be, because they are still focused on running away from what is, and they have not integrated into the self. They assume that material objects and pretty things are the cure. But the only person in my experience and in my study who has the cure is Ramana Maharshi. So this statement is not meant to offend anybody. This is the perception that I've developed as a result of having many different teachers trying to sell me many different types of spirituality. Some teachers actually helped me out, and I stick with them to this day. Others just talked about themselves and wanted money. Who do you think the better teachers were? There's 30 minutes left in the meditation. So that's my advice to you if you're looking for spiritual guidance. You might want a girlfriend, and you might want to study spirituality as well. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you base your spiritual practice on the need for another human being, you are never going to discover the self. You are never going to understand what Ramana Maharshi is talking about. And the moment I understood what this man was talking about, my life changed. And that's what I want for you. You can open your eyes at any second. The meditation is now complete. And also, you don't have to listen to me. Take what resonates from what I say and leave the rest. Namaste.